Hello everyone and welcome to the brand new home construction community of Wysteria. In just a minute, we're going to go through those gates right there and I'm going to give you an A to Z breakdown on what this community is all about. Location, why that matters, the floor plans, the pricing, the fees, the amenities, and everything in between. So I hope this adds you a ton of value and let's get started. All right, let's talk neighborhood nitty-gritty. So what Wysteria is another community by a builder called Neal Communities. And Neal Communities, think Grand Palm in Venice, think a community called Wellen Park in Sarasota, Indigo and Windward in Lakewood Ranch. A really nice reputation around the Sarasota-Manatee County area. What they do is they always have this kind of, for the most part, British West Indies aesthetic, but they also just have a really nice blend of what the price is to the models. It's not too much, it's not low end, no frills. I think it's a really nice blend. This community specifically, it's a smaller, burden-free from a space, lower price community. It's that venture into this area. And what I mean by that is there's 7 total floor plans in here across 136 total lots. So it's not an incredibly large community. It's on the borderline of boutique. But across all of those 136, you have a villa series, which is a split level villa, meaning just attached to one other home like you see over here. And then you have one of their smallest single family collections. So the largest home you can get in this entire community, even the single families, is about 1,900 square feet. But what's going to come with that is a lower overall price and a little bit of a benefit of if those larger homes are overkill for you, this one would be a nice little blend. All right, I wanted to show you 2 quick examples to give you further context. So I'm standing in a model called the Patriot. This is actually the smallest single family model they have inside the community of Wysteria. You're about 1,682 square feet on a base. Price range is about $445. And what you're gonna see here is you have a 3-bedroom, you have a 2-bath, a 2-car garage, and there is a den in the front as well. So pretty kind of normal Florida style home, but you see the narrowness on the concept here they've done with this community. And what that does is the same amount of bedrooms and bathrooms on a narrower lot, you're gonna see your dining room stack your living room. You're gonna see your kitchen and that be a little pinched in the walking areas in between. But still at the right square footage, not bad. That's why you don't see 2,500 square feet in here. Also on the pool deck, what you're gonna see is they can only build a pool to the planes of a home. So you're gonna see how you have to shoot out and over to get extra space here. Because they can't go past where the house stops to build the screen. So depending on how you live, you might not want all that space. This would be a better fit for you if you live in this kind of setting. You're not used to 3,500 square feet, right? But pretty normal overall. You have a master in the rear. They make the space orient really well to 2 people, especially 1 or 2 people. So you'll see the communal areas versus like the master versus the guest rooms, the right sizes for how the family size is basically. But all in all, I think really interesting. All right, one more quick example for you. So I have moved over to the model called the Dream. The Dream is the largest single family home in the entire Wysteria community. So this is what the same size or similar size lot in width would look like with more square footage. So it's 1,860 square feet. You see how the kitchen opens up a little bit? You know, a lot of these communities are building in gas to the community, which is nice, right? You have gas for the pool heater, for the dryer, for the stove, etc. Your living room, so all the spaces just get a little bit bigger. The bedrooms translate. This one shows you a nice example of no pool. If you're not a pool person or you think it's overkill, this community does have amenities, not like a lot of them. But this would be what an extended patio with a screen would look like, and a little kitchen setup and stuff. So still kind of nice. You got conservation behind it. But 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage on 1,860 square feet. And this is a second of the 7 total floor plans. All right, just to recap, I showed you 2 homes, but we have a 7 floor plan total option in this 134 home total community. 2 series. The Coral series, you're going to have consisting of just villas, 1,400 to 1,524 total square feet, starting at $369,000. The Crystal Sand is your smallest. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 2-car, 1,434 square feet. You have 2 Tidewaters, the Tidewater and the Tidewater B, both $385,000 base prices, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage at 1,524 square feet. Then you hop to single families. We have the Cruise series, which is one of the narrower lot series. Liberty 4 is your smallest, starting price of $428K, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage at 1,530 square feet. Hop to the Patriot, which I showed you. 445 base, 3-bed, 2-car garage, 2-bath, 1,682 square feet. Imagination 2 is a $452,000 base, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage at 1,778 square feet. And we finish with a model called the Dream 2, which is the last model I showed you. $461,990 starting price, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage at 1,860 square feet. All right, before we hop to the next section, if you're resonating with this video or any of the videos, even in the slightest, the best next thing you can do, download the free digital guide. It's in the description box below. I'll try to link it right here. 15, 20 pages, absolutely free. It's a flip book. Check that out. And without further ado, let's hop back in. All right, now on to some really important issues. And that brings me to the fun one of pricing. So if you recap what I just did here, I talked about a base price of about high threes to $461,000. But that never means that. What you are doing with these kind of communities with Neal as a builder is you're taking the base price. So let's say we took a base price of $450. You're adding a lot to the land. You can't separate the land. So say you're on conservation, it's $25K. Say you're on water, it's $60, right? So we'll say water for, this sake, right? So now we're at $510. Then you add structural upgrades. They don't need to know how you're going to design your pool, but they need to know if you're doing a pool. They need to know if you're going to do a gourmet kitchen, extend a patio. You got to changing the footprint, tray ceilings. They're structural, permanent. So base price, lot, and structural upgrades bring the home price. So say the lot took me from $450 to $510. Say I'm going to do a pool. We'll park that for a minute, but my structural upgrades bring me, say $50K, I don't know. So $560. That doesn't, so the pool, add on top of that, say that's $100K, you're at $660, and then you add design on top of all of that. Design is aesthetics. It's, they know you're gonna have some type of floor, but they don't know if you're doing luxury vinyl, they don't know if you're doing ceramic tile, they don't know if you're gonna do quartz counters versus granite, etc. Right? So you can see how you get up here pretty fast. So what's happening in this community typically right now is a really important thing to know is there's 134 homes. I'm gonna blend this section with availability for brevity's sake. 134 homes, half are sold out, half they already have contracts on. And right now they're planning on to do inventory homes for the whole community, barring any changes, right? So they're planning on designing all of them without your say. So you can get a really good sense of what your pricing will end up being here. And what they're doing right now on the list is, say the Crystal Sand base price was $368. They're selling one turnkey without a pool right now for $468. So probably $25K of land, design, extended patio. You get the point there. Dream 2, for instance, they had one, that's a $461,000 base without a pool. You can buy it right now for $587, and that's on conservation. The Liberty 3, which is a little cheaper than the Dream, that's on a corner home site. That's at $504. I would add anything you see on this website, if they're going to keep it inventory only, it seems like you need to add about $100,000 to $150,000 on top of that. That should translate pretty evenly throughout the community. What they're doing here too is, I'm going to talk about amenities here next, but this one does have amenities. They're thinking with the smaller concepts, people are wanting less of a burden. There's only 134 homes. There's not going to be a 4 million people at your pool. There will be a resort style pool in here. They're thinking that they could build the homes faster if they don't have the burden of pool logistics. So I think a lot of these homes you will see with no pool, and people will use the amenities as they stand, which I will show you. But that's what we're looking like for pricing here. And I think that'll give you a good idea. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to pricing structure is the fees itself. I know that's always an important one, especially if you're out of state. This one does have an HOA and it does have a CDD and an annual assessment. But the way you got to look at this HOA is there's two different series of homes, and the villas have a $450 a month fee, and the single families, the whole collection, $355 a month. The reason that the smaller villas are more expensive is they're attached. They share roof maintenance and exterior building maintenance, like any building that would be part of multiple buildings, right? So that burden over time, if the roof goes bad or something, that's in those fees itself. These communities also include two really important items that make these fees not this price, actually. So they include lawn maintenance. So they mow your lawn, they do some annual mulching, they do some weeding, etc. It also includes fiber optic internet, which is interesting. So take the $355 a month fee, right? If someone was to fertilize your lawn, $50. Someone was to mow your lawn monthly, that's $110, right? $160, take that out of the $355. Fiber optic internet, which is the only internet around here that during the hurricane, they didn't lose service. That underground internet that's embedded in this community, that's probably $75 right there. So you see how you whittle down these fees. And then on top of that, what you have is you add a community that a lot of these communities have no amenities, and there's still a similar HOA. This one has a resort-style pool. It has a gathering pavilion, pickleball courts, and it includes all the common area maintenance. It's a gated community as well. That's going to take that burden of that extra $150 or so a month across 134 total homes. CDD is the other one that bothers a lot of people. That's in your annual tax base. And what that is it's $1,100 annually to $1,250 annually, depending on the size home. That's going to be in those taxes, right? A lot of states, that pays for that's how they build all these streets and the infrastructure, and they take out these large kind of, they borrow all this money and then it's spread over all these homeowners. It pays for the infrastructure of building a brand new area. But a lot of times if you take the taxes here in Venice or Northport and you add CDD to that annual fee, that net annual cost burden is less than most states that come here. It's not across the board, right? But I wouldn't look at it like separate fees. I look at it like annual carrying cost if you can take it itemized. And then the initial assessment for this community is going to be $4,200 to $5,400 to get started. Obviously, we can articulate all of that if you reach out, but I did want to give you an idea of how to separate this community from the rest. Okay, amenities. I mentioned in the fee section what few of these were going to be, but I thought I'd walk you through since they're in an interesting stage. So this one, for that fee, at least you're going to get a little bit more, right? So even if you don't have your own pool, you got a little clubhouse area. As you can see, some restrooms being built in here and just a little gathering space. And a lot of these you can rent out for like parties and stuff like that. And then you can see here for this size of 130 homes, you have a pretty good sized pool. Obviously the water is going to be bluer than that, but you have a lounging area, you have multiple seats, you have 3 feet across the board, so a nice adults pool, tons of chair area around it. And one thing here is, and there's a spa in that corner. And one thing here is, if you don't already play pickleball, pickleball is a very, very big competitive thing here. So you do have a couple pickleball courts. It's not tennis, that's gonna be your pickleball, which is cool because in this area, we don't know for a fact if downtown Wellen Park, which I'll talk about here in a minute, is going to have communal amenities as far as like not just shopping and dining, if they're going to have like a rec center. I've heard rumblings of it, like tennis courts and that kind of thing that are like semi-public or like included in the CDD here, but we don't know that for a fact. So if you build a home here, all of this stuff will clearly be finished by the time anyone that starts today builds a home. And I think that would be a nice little perk if you're already going to pay $350 a month. Now let's talk about where this place actually is. So you are technically in a district called Playmore, which is the newest district on top of that of the master plan Wellen Park, which is a master plan development. And then on top of that, you are basically in South Venice, Florida / Northport, Florida, depending on where you fall. Now the perks of here is really, they solved blended life basically in a lot of facets. Urban walkability, very golf cart friendly, and you're just a stone's throw literally from downtown Wellen Park, which is their brand new mixed use development. It's restaurants, it's lakefront dining, outdoor recreation, tons of shopping, commercial development, multiple things going on there. It's very, very lovely. And then beyond that, just modern conveniences are right at your fingertips here. They built it all. You're 2 miles from Publix, which is the main grocery store chain. You have a tap house, you have Irma's Tacos, you have 7-Eleven. That's all 2 miles from these neighborhoods. You can see them from here. And then beyond that, one perk here is the spring training facility, the low A affiliate, I think it is, for the Braves, Cool Today Park, is 1.5 miles. You can see it from all these communities in Playmore. Cool thing is there is not just baseball, which they play very little there. It's actually the tiki bar that's open all year round and the 300 plus average events that they do there for live entertainment. You could walk to and then walk home or golf cart, which is really cool. Beyond all of that, the big thing with this area is a master plan development that is 12 miles one way from downtown Venice, Florida, which means Venice Beach, Casperson Beach, the shark's tooth capital of the world, Brohard Beach, the only dog beach in the county. Very rare to have this kind of community with new construction that close to the beaches. So all in all, I think this location and geography in general is really interesting. All right, and this brings me to my last point. Why should you do Wysteria? Why would it be a good fit for you? I think what this community is, like I mentioned, it's lower burden, affordable for what it is, and a very good balance of an elegant floor plan at a respectable size at a price point that fits that. I like the amount of homes, give it a little bit more of a boutique feel. And what Neal does really well, I think, is the way they orient their villa and their small floor plans. Not everyone does a narrow home well. And I think if they're gonna spec out a home for you, they do the right look of a kitchen, they put the right amount of additives in there where it doesn't get too hairy from a price standpoint. And one of the biggest perks of Wellen Park is turnkey. You know, you get a home in here that doesn't have this monthly carrying cost that stresses you out. You could see the Braves Stadium from here. You can go to concerts, you can have an active after hours life and have a really nice community to do it in. And I think what Wysteria fits in the grand scheme of Avelina, which is here, and Grand Palm, which is custom, and Solstice, which is Toll Brothers, and Sunstone, which is Mattamy Homes. I think you bump all those against each other. I think it gives you a really nice option that is different from all of those and different from its own branded community, and could be a nice fit if you like what all of that entails to you specifically. All right, folks, that is a wrap for this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. Secondly, you're looking to buy real estate, sell real estate, relocate, regardless of your timeline, please consider reaching out to my team if you're resonating with these videos at all. Lastly, before you leave, check out the description box below. Free digital guides, free analytical tools, my website. There is going to be an ever-growing library of free resources there. So we would love for you to check that out. Most importantly, thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.